There's a lot of beautiful things that are unfolding right now at this time in life. And this is mainly due to the fact that you are taking the steps that's necessary for you to improve the quality of your circumstances in many different ways. So you could be changing your habits and your behaviors. You could be changing your social circle, your friend group. You could be changing even your location, moving to a new town or a new part of town, a new state, a new country even. And as you've been making these changes, it's a result of you going through times in your life that you may have experienced things that just weren't in alignment with the version of yourself that you wanted to become. Now, perhaps you were in a place where there was a lot of people feeding you a lot of beliefs, a lot of different ideals. This could have been from your culture, could have been from your religious upbringing, your family upbringing, and whatever it was that you were fed while you were young, a lot of it was possibly good, and a lot of it you may still hold true to you today because it adds value to your life. But there were some things that you had run into that really caused you to navigate the world in a way that you realized really wasn't working for you. And you're navigating the world maybe from a place of even feeling powerless or hopeless or helpless. Maybe there's a lot of people around you who just didn't really see the value within themselves, or maybe they were not taught how valuable they truly were, and everyone was kind of just going with the flow of the status quo. And something inside you told you that there was something else you want to express. This could be some kind of creative endeavor that you have, something in your heart, some kind of something that you really wanted to speak up that you felt perhaps even was dismissed when you were younger. There was something that you're very talented at, very gifted at, very passionate about, but you were taught to be realistic. You were taught to look for things that were more average, to be honest. Do the average thing, get the average kind of job, get into an average kind of relationship, just do whatever it was that was average, because the majority of people around you were just average people. And this is not a value statement on a person's self-worth, but the actions that we engage in will determine the results that we get from those actions. So if we do average things, we're going to get average results. And the thing about you is that you spent time doing average things and you got average results as you were trying to fit in the mold of all these other people around you that you were never meant to fit in. What I'm feeling is that a one size fits all doesn't fit everybody. It doesn't fit everybody. And it's a nice play on words. It's a nice thing to say, one size fits all, but this life is so astronomically diverse in just our ethnic groups, our upbringings, the places that we grow up in life, the kind of foods that we eat, the modes of transportation, the languages that we use in life. Like, life is very, very diverse. And you've come to realize that you too are a very unique and diverse individual. And while you may serve yourself in similar interests to others, like you like similar things as others, you can't box yourself into one set of principles, one set of values, one set of morals, one set of principles. You vary quite a bit. And what I'm hearing is that your standards may not meet a lot of people's standards. Your standards may not meet a lot of people's standards just because your standards compared to other people's standards are different. Not better, not worse, they're different. But for you, there's some standards that you uphold because they add value to your life. They fill your life with integrity, with dignity, with respect, self-respect. You show up in a way where you embody a level of kindness, kindness to be treated towards you, kindness to be shown towards you, generosity to be shown towards you, because this is how you offer yourself to the world. You give to the world in kindness. You give to the world in generosity. You give to the world in a sense of empowerment, because you empower yourself. And this is either something that you've come into recently, or something that you've been playing around with recently, or something that you may have already been working on for quite some time, and you've seen the results turn up in your life because of how you approach choosing to live your life from a place of integrity, where you're not doing things or participating in certain habits or behaviors that the people around you are. Maybe your coworkers or your peer groups, your old peer groups. This could be having to do with some forms of partying, some forms of purchasing certain things. That could be clothes, that could be food, that could be lifestyle, to try to fit in or to try to hold yourself to some sort of external validation instead of the internal validation, from which doing those things truly will allow you to feel fulfilled. So, to expand on that, there is a very important respect for you to choose quality over quantity. Now, this is quality relationships, quality foods, quality clothes, quality actions, behaviors, a mindset. And you seek the quality because it is a reflection of who you are as a person, how you treat yourself. You do it for an internal validation, just to really value the self that you are, to care for yourself. And there is also the ability for some people to do those same things that you do, but for the decision or for the reason that they can get approval because of their assets or their lifestyle or their material possessions even. So yeah, you use these material things, these quality things, as a reflection of yourself, but not from a place of validation. You're not seeking the external validation, but you do it because it's a way of showing the respect that you have for yourself, and also the connection that you have to something greater than yourself, something more powerful than yourself. That could be a mission. This could be a form of spirituality. This could be a type of endeavor or organization or business or creative project. There's something very powerful that drives you in a way that has not been driven by any other means in your life. This could be new to you, or this again could be something that you've been feeling for some time now. And I understand that if there is anything in the way of this drive that you have, you've been letting go of those things in order for you to operate more clearly, to have more focus and attention on the advancement of this passion that you have, of this drive that you have, of this calling that you have, of this beautiful, beautiful work that you have inside your heart. So you could have been going through a period of purging different people out of your life, different habits out of your life, different things that just don't serve you for the manifestation of this ideal self that you have. You've really been able to focus in your attention, to not get distracted, not use your time frivolously. And again, not to participate in habits or behaviors for the sole reason of looking or seeking validation from others. So that could be, again, partying in certain ways, or buying certain things, or participating in some type of lifestyle that could be including gossip or spreading of some sort of belief in some type of narrative for whatever belief system that is being passed on by the people around you. This could be in a workplace, or within your family group, within your peer group, within some kind of cultural space that you're living in. But you're really looking at all of the beliefs of the people around you, and you're really sitting with them and deciding whether or not these truly resonate with you, or if these things that other people speak are not really what you wish to invite into your life, what you wish to accept into your life. You're having a new relationship with wealth and abundance, thinking prosperously, thinking bigger, trusting that the world will bring to you that which you seek. Whether or not you know how you'll get it, there is ways that have been proven by many other people who have not only what it is that you're seeking, but so much more. And you understand that you're not any less than these individuals. You're not incapable. You just have different capacities. And you're learning how to use your capacities in the way where you can manifest and create the life that truly you deserve, that you truly deserve. And anyone else who isn't living a life that is truly what they want, you're understanding that everyone is on their own path, and that you don't have to accept the path or the life of someone else. You don't have to accept the life or the path of someone else, and that you are your own creator. You are your own You're your own best friend as well in this journey. And at the end of the day, you understand that you have to support yourself above anybody else, in this world. And it's beautiful to have support of other individuals, but you understand that it's the type of support that is the most important. Not the fact that you have support, because some people, their form of giving support is in a way that is resonant with them, and it may not actually be what you need. People may feel that giving support would be having you participate with them in certain habits, certain behaviors, certain belief systems, certain ways of thinking, certain actions that may actually take you further away from your goals and your objectives, and you becoming the true, authentic version of yourself that you are destined to be, that you're meant to be. So being your own best friend and really taking a step back and thinking about what it is that people are asking you to accept into your life. They may be operating at an unconscious level, and they may not even be aware of the things that they're saying about themselves, about other people, about their lives. But you're taking a closer look at these things, and you're seeing whether or not the things that other people say that they're trying to advise you on or give you advice about, whether or not those things actually truly resonate with you, and if you really want to accept them into your life. And you understand that you don't have to accept these things into your life. But if they do make sense, and they do feel like they're going to progress you, make you feel like a better person, make you feel more confident, make you feel more able, capable, empowered, then you're choosing to follow the directives of other individuals. I feel like you're also looking at people who have what you're looking for, that have what you want, and you're taking advice from these people. And the people who don't have the things that you want, what I'm hearing is like, you're not going to get advice from your broke friend or your broke aunt or your broke uncle or broke family member or broke whoever it is. You're not going to get their advice for how to become wealthy and how to be good with money and how to make money and how to be able to have a good, lasting, favorable relationship with prosperity. Same as if you're looking for a solid, stable relationship, or to keep the solid, stable relationship you have or marriage that you have or whatever the case may be, if you're looking for advice in that regard, you're going to look for advice from someone who has the type of relationship that you admire, that you aspire to have in your own relationship. And you're going to hear what it is that they do in order to gain that level of connection with their partner. And you're not going to go to someone who just has failed relationship after failed relationship after failed marriage after failed marriage. You're not going to ask them for their advice on how to have a successful marriage, how to have a successful relationship. These are just these very, it's common sense type of thinking that you're entering into, where it's, in order for you to get what it is that you want, you have to find the people who have what it is that you want, that have already done it, who have already achieved it. You're not looking for theories. You're not looking for possibilities. You're looking for things that have been proven, factually proven by individuals who have the things that you want. And you're seeking these things, and you're dismissing anything that isn't in alignment with that, that isn't lining up with that. And that could be, primarily it is, your own personal thinking and your own personal actions, the way you show up in the world, the actions that you take in the world. You're very powerful and you're meant for very, very profound things in this world. And you're called to very profound places in this world. And it's a matter of allowing yourself to do more of the things that are of the caliber of the individual that you're looking to become. How would they act? How would they show up? How would they treat other people? How would they allow other people to treat them? How would they show up in the world? In what ways will they show up in the world as? How would they dress? How would they talk? All these things you've been thinking about more and more and more so. And because you've been really giving yourself the time to love yourself in this regard, it's caused you to have a fundamental shift. So that way you are on the closest path, the closest route. You're the closest you've ever been to receiving all of the desires of your heart and of your life, because you're looking at the end result first and you're working backwards instead of trying to do all of these other theoretical things in hopes that maybe you'll hit the end goal, which is that happy lifestyle where you're living in your most magnetic self. And if you don't have an image of what that magnetic self is, then you'll never hit the target. So you have to have a target. And that's what's very, very important. If you want a better life, if you want better finances, if you want a better social life or physical health, mental health, spiritual health, emotional health, if you want something to change in your life, you have to have the target and the goal to get what it is that you feel that person would have, how they would live their life, the type of car they would drive, the kind of type of home they would have, the type of relationship and partner they would have, the type of clothes they would wear. All these things are evident of this ideal version of yourself. How you will get there and the path to get there, that is something that you leave open for your intuition to lead you towards. What I'm feeling is that the things that you think you need to do in order to get that ideal lifestyle are not always going to be the things that actually get you there, and that there is always a faster path. But the path to get there isn't going to come from the knowledge and the information that you already have. Because if you already knew how to get there with the information that you had currently, then you would be there. You would be there in many, many ways. So you need to take a different approach to get that ideal version of yourself to come into fruition, to become in your life, to actually be a waking part of your life. But the first thing is knowing what the target is, knowing what the goal is, living in that reality in your mind. Your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality or what is just something that is in the imagination. But as you imagine it more and more and more frequently, it begins to unfold in that fashion. Everything that you have in your life, the current clothes that you have, the current relationships that you're in, the current job that you're living in, current home you're living in, the current way that you see yourself, how you think about yourself, how you look towards yourself as, and how you show up in the world with other people. All of this is based off of your current belief systems. And if they're good, then you're doing very good work at keeping those belief systems aligned with a place of contentment, with a place of satisfaction of who you are as an individual. And if those things aren't in alignment with what you really want to become, then there's just some shifting that needs to be done. It doesn't have to be anything astronomically difficult or sacrificing or suffering or hard or any of those words a lot of people can place on making changes in their own lives. Some of the easiest changes you could ever make is just becoming the version of yourself that you want to be. It's the idea that you transforming into this new person of yourself is going to require you to show up in the world as that person, which may be very different to what people are normally used to, how you show up into the world as. So an old version of yourself, an old identity who operated with certain beliefs, certain habits, certain behaviors, talked in certain ways, it's almost as if that old personality is trying to save face for certain people who, quite frankly, aren't worth the face that you're trying to save in front of them. These are certain people, certain relationships, certain friends that you understand won't resonate with you any longer as you move into this new authentic version of yourself. And you will have to show up in a way that isn't what they're used to, isn't what they know. This could require a change in the dynamic of those relationships so that way you guys can grow into this new version of yourself as they continue on with their lives in whichever way that is. And if they're meant to stay with you, they will grow with you as well into this new timeline, this new journey that you're embarking on. And if they don't resonate with you and you grow apart, that's a part of the process that you're going through. But the beautiful thing is that you will be blessed with better relationships, not necessarily better people, like the people themselves are less than the people who are coming into your life, but just people who are more in alignment with this authentic version of yourself, this better version of yourself. And you will be given these things, people, places, opportunities that will help to increase you, increase your life, increase your abundance, increase your ability to create a life that is so impactful for yourself and the people around you. You'll be able to give so much more. Give, give, give. Contribution is huge. The more you give, the more you receive. But it's how you give. It's not that you give, it's how you give. And you're learning how to give from a place of feeling supported. You give not because you fear loss of something or someone if you were not to give, but you give because it's a reflection of who you are and the value that you hold for yourself and the type of person that you choose to be. And by giving from this place of empowerment, you're allowing yourself to be equally and in multiplicity provided for. It's like an investment. It's like the more that you give from this place of empowerment, the more that you receive in order for you to reinvest into yourself and into other people. Because the things that you receive not only improve your life, but they also improve the lives of those around you, because you're here to encourage and uplift individuals. You're not here for solely selfish and self-seeking propositions, opportunities. You're here to offer an encouraging word to many, many people so that way they too can live lives of their wildest dreams. But it's by you first experiencing what that is to you, the freedom that comes along with that, that's going to allow you to really, really excel at this time in your life. The power of your thought is so unbelievably important right now at this time. There's so many good opportunities, so many good things coming in at this time. And is your focus to see yourself as the version of yourself that has integrity and that deserves these beautiful things that are coming in. It's your ability to believe this that will continue to manifest in your life and show up in forms of material wealth, spiritual wealth, emotional wealth, social wealth, an improvement upon improvement upon improvement, because you see yourself as someone who deserves an improvement, to be improved upon. Not from a place of arrogance or a place of egoism, but from a place of just understanding that you have a good heart, you have a good spirit, you have good intentions, and your actions back those qualities in yourself. Those actions back who you are as a person, and you show up in the world as that kind of individual. But that is the confirmation. Those are the facts of who you are as an individual, and that's why you're going to be provided for in astronomical ways. It's the purging of the self that doesn't align with the self that you are to become. Once that splitting occurs, it could be a process. It could be weeks, months, for some even years, depending on the level of habits and conditioning that the old self has compared to the new self. But there's going to be a very beautiful journey along the way. A journey that's going to continue increasing your life and increasing your life. So many beautiful things are coming in for you. And you're meant to be blessed. You're meant to be taken care of. You're meant to be provided for. You're meant to be supported. So as you move through the rest of this month, these coming months, understand that you are exactly where you need to be right now. If you've been getting caught up in seeing where you are compared to where maybe someone else is, and it's making you feel a sense of perhaps being behind or missing some kind of mark. And it's funny because this could be different for so many different people. Like what you have could be someone else's literal dream. What you already have can be someone else's literal dream. But if you're looking at what you have as not as much as what someone else has, it will cause a feeling of inadequacy or feeling not of incompletion or feeling even of ingratitude in many ways. So this is something that is important to recognize if this is something that you're dealing with. If it's not, then that's okay too. But what you have right now is everything that you need in order to be the person that you are becoming. Everything that you have right now is everything that you need to become the person who you are becoming. And having the gratitude for what you do have right now is so, so important, because the more you live in this gratitude of the things that you have currently, the more that you will be provided for with new relationships, new friendships, new financial means, opportunities that will come into your life for you to be more grateful for. So it's the practicing the vibration of just being grateful for what you have and things in your life and being thankful. That's going to create more of that. And this is also a indication that if there are any kind of energies or any kind of habits or any kind of things in your life right now that make you feel ungrateful for what you have, to begin releasing those more so. And what releasing isn't something always that is a direct action that you need to take. It's more of, instead of participating in things or thinking about things that cause ingratitude in your life, things that you don't have, things that you want, things that you wish you desire, but make you feel a lack of. Instead of focusing on those things, focus on the things that really bring you happiness, that are really good about your life, things that you feel so grateful for, and just think about those things more. And by default, all the things that aren't in resonance with that gratitude will just not be given energy. And you put your energy into the things that you want to grow. You want to grow. So what I'm hearing is you're watering your plants. You're watering the seeds that you've sown. And you're no longer watering weeds. You're not fertilizing weeds. You have a certain amount of fertilizer that you can utilize throughout your day. And you're seeing, how are you using your fertilizer? What are you fertilizing on this field in your mind? What are the thoughts that you have in your mind, and how are you fertilizing them? Whether they be good thoughts or bad thoughts, you're fertilizing those thoughts. And you're choosing now to be very, very deliberate about the thoughts that you wish to fertilize and the beliefs that you wish to develop. And this is making you very, very powerful right now at this time. So keep on moving forward, keep on doing the things that keep you feel grounded or stable. So this could be a routine, this could be, you may have a self-care routine, you may have an exercise routine, you may have a routine of meeting up with a certain group of friends, a certain community, a certain organization, some sort of routine that has you stable in your life with good habits, good behaviors around good people who are also on a path of growth, thinking positively, speaking wealth and health into their lives and the lives of those around them. People who are generous, people who are giving as well from a place of true gratitude and generosity. You're learning to associate with the people who uplift other people, who uplift themselves, people who truly admire themselves, take care of themselves. And you're being drawn to these type of connections as well. Peace is a very important thing as well at this time in your life, and peace is something as simple as having calm in your head, calm in your mind. Not the fears of, not the fears, what I'm hearing is depths. Now, this could be financial debts for some of you, having a fear of like financial debt. How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to do this? How am I going to, that kind of debt. Or this could also be depths in the sense that you have depths with other people. So this could be, again, this doesn't have to be a financial thing. It could be a financial thing that you have depths with other people, but I'm feeling this is like an energetic depth. Maybe there's some people out there that hold this energetic depth to you where it's you feel obligated to do something for them because of the things they've done for you, either spoken or unspoken. And there's like this energetic debt that you feel towards some people. But in this regard, this energetic debt is something that is actually taken away from you. It's taken away from your energy. It's taken away from your power. This could even be a debt that you have with some kind of habit, even almost as if you have to pay back this habit by continuing to engage in it. And this is very interesting the way this is coming out. But it's almost as if there's something in this habit that doesn't serve you, but you feel obligated to participate in it because you have some kind of association to it because of something that someone had taught you about this habit at one point in your life. This could have been something that you were taught by a friend or a parent or some other authoritative figure in your life, but this habit isn't serving you anymore. But there's some kind of debt that you feel that you have to pay this habit because it was taught to you by someone who has some level of importance in your life at one point or another. And almost as a means of paying homage to that person that taught you this habit, you feel that you must continue to live in this habit, even though this habit no longer serves you. So you feel that you have this debt to pay towards this person, paying homage to this person by participating in this habit. But you're paying a debt that no longer, it's been paid. And you don't need to engage in this. You have no debts to pay in this regard to this habit. This could even be a belief system about yourself. Maybe someone had told you that you were not enough, or that you're incapable, or that you're dumb, or that you had some kind of inadequacies in some level when you're younger. And it's like you feel like you have this debt to pay to reaffirm this kind of belief, this kind of thing that was taught to you. But you have no debt to this belief. You have no debt to pay to that idea. So you're freed from your debts, and these debts aren't anything that you have to live in. You don't have to participate in these debts. They're all a version of yourself that you aren't, that you are not. And you're being able to be liberated from that old version of yourself who has these depths, but it's not the version of yourself who you are becoming and who you are already aware is a different person. So you're learning to live from a place of deliberate and intensive action within your own thoughts, the way you think, because that's a form of action. Taking the conscious time to think certain thoughts, change certain beliefs about yourself, no longer pay debts that have already well been paid off of, and choosing by action, focused intention, to think about the thoughts that you wish to think about, to become the person who you are to become. So you're very empowered right now, and you're doing very, very phenomenal things in your life. Continue to move forward. Continue to take the actions that you are looking to take to become this individual, and things will continue to unfold. So that's what I have coming in through right now. I love you guys. Thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll catch you here in the next one.